Hello everyone. It has been a very long time since I've done a live, actually over a year. So I had my daughter help me out, so I trust that I am here live and that you can hear me okay. But I had to come and just share some guidance that was given to me this morning. But before I do that, if you are joining live, please make sure you say hello. And if you're watching on replay, just let me know as well. But today, as most of you hopefully have seen, I posted and I shared guidance on the special children, the intuitive and the sensitive children, and what they're sharing in the world and what they're delivering and supporting us through. But along with that guidance, I also was shown other things, and it was more for us collectively, right? For all of us who are in this together. And the word that they said is stuck in limbo. And they were showing me just ripples of so many of us, and I'm included as well, that so many of us are feeling this sense of being stuck in limbo. And they kept showing me that there's so many things that are just waiting for us on the other side, that there's so much that is trying to pull us in, but we are just not taking those steps. And again, I'm guilty of it. So I am in no way saying that this is only those outside of me, but this is all of us on some level, consciously and unconsciously. And they were showing me that part of what we're being invited today and every day, of course, is for us to just begin with that first step. And a lot of us, especially those that are part of my tribe and that I'm so blessed in being connected with here on the social media and also with my platform, is that we are connected. You know that there's more to this life than this physicality. There's more to us than these bodies. There's so much more to us. And there is so much that is destined to be delivered by each of us. Some of us might feel inspired to be on stage, on camera. Some of us might be inspired to create content. Some of us may be inspired to just be a voice of love for people, to be a teacher, to be a nurse. There's so many things we're inspired to do. But deep down inside, there is this inherent, and they're showing me a song. Inherently, we know that we each have a song to deliver. A code to manifest. That each of us are an embodiment of a code, a symbol, a sign of divine in our own beautiful way. And what this beautiful being of light kept showing me is that there is this breakthrough that we are being pulled into, but again, we're stuck in limbo. So my invitation is that if you're hearing this and this resonates, whether it's live or on replay, that on some level you are being asked to lean in. You're being asked to let yourself be pulled even more. Thank you. Ooh, energy's moving up. That you're being asked. Got it. Thank you. And what they're audibly saying is that you're just being asked. You're just being asked to surrender even more. And I know a lot of times I hear from people, well, I think I'm doing it, or how do you do it? And it's like, I'm working on doing this, and it's like, I feel like I can't get anywhere. I've done all this work. I've done all this clearing. I've done all this things, and they're just not working. And one of the things that I just want to encourage you to understand and know, and I know I'm going to be preaching to the choir, that there is a lot for us to untangle from that requires our forgiveness. That's one thing. So I'm going to talk about a few things, but that's one thing. To get into our breakthrough, our collective breakthrough, our individual breakthrough. And one of the things, and I know I talked about this on my platform, I recorded the audio that's going to be shared on my platform about this, but there's so much for us to untangle from. And I've been shown this since high school, I would say, that the fastest way into our awakening is to truly experience forgiveness. When we really, I'm not just talking about intellectually, but when we really feel forgiveness, there's an awakening, and they're audibly wanting me to say euphoria that takes place. Because there's so much of us that gets set free. There's so much that becomes truly who we are. There's so much, that gets to be seen through us when we just let go. But the thing that's interesting is that intellectually, it's a very easy process. I get it, right? It's like, okay, when I say easy, They're audibly telling me to correct that because not everybody's going to agree, and that's okay. But when I'm talking about forgiveness is that we can take the steps to be like, okay, I'm going to forgive this person, or I'm going to work on forgiving myself, or I'm going to go ahead and do these other things. But there's a lot of things that we are intuitively, thank you. There's a lot of it, and they're telling me there's a lot of things that we are sensing outside our physical senses that we're intuitively feeling into that we have a discord with. And there's three things we're going to talk about. The one thing is that I want to encourage you to take time in the next few days especially, and they're audibly telling me by Thursday, just because of some of the energies that are happening collectively right now, this is a good time for this, like a powerful time for this, in which it's not just going to be moving through you for you, it's being pulled through you for you from something greater, because collectively we're all being pulled in that direction to let go even more, to heal even more, thank you, to untangle even more. And what I'm being shown is that you're being asked to deliver yourself into a level of forgiveness where you say, I choose to forgive, I choose to set myself free. And it's not, and I know we talked about this, it's not about accepting what has been done or whatever it is that has that happening within you where you feel you need to forgive, but it's about understanding that you are required to free yourself. You're required to untangle yourself. You're required for you to get to your next breakthrough, for you to get to your next phase of possibilities, for you to get to that abundance, for you to get to that freedom, for you to get to that love, that intimacy, that connection, that experience that is waiting for you on the other side. So one of the things that they had me do, and again, I recorded this for the platform as well, is that you're being asked to take time to actually decide, thank you, because everything and anything that happens to us requires some level of permission from us. And unfortunately, we give a lot of our power away. We give permission to things outside of us through things that we choose to engage with, movies, music, like things that we aren't really even consciously understanding that we're giving our permission away. So by taking time to decide and choose, because that's important, to decide and choose that I am going to choose to forgive that which is known and unknown. I choose to untangle. I choose to forgive and thank you. And they're audibly telling me, making that your mantra. And I'm getting emotional from it. And what they're telling me is that some of you are actually going to feel emotions come up because something bigger is going to take over that is not your conscious mind. There's going to be a bigger part of you that is going to take over, that is going to lead you into that forgiveness. And it's not an intellectual process, it's an embodiment. Thank you. They're audibly saying an embodiment that can take hold in a deeper way when you choose to surrender that which is known and unknown. I choose to forgive. You know, one of the things that I've been told, and I'll be honest, my human mind has found that to be intimidating, is that they're saying for the great awakening to fully be embodied by the collective, by the world, would require for a majority of us to get to a place where we truly forgive. Once again, because forgiveness, truly owning that forgiveness, not just intellectually, but owning it, it's a path of liberation. It's a path in which we untangle from so much that is holding us back. So again, that's my invitation first for you to take time to do that. The second thing, again, connected with the idea of being stuck in limbo. They were sharing so many of us, and I've done this. We get so caught up in our routine and we get so accustomed to our day-to-day, we get so accustomed to what's happening that we forget. And again, maybe most of you are saying, I don't forget, I have a choice. But the reality is that we get so accustomed to our routines and our patterns that we don't realize that we are failing to choose. You know, if something is happening that you don't want to happen, if there's something that's unfolding that you're not happy with, if there's certain things that are just not what you would consider the right way, is it important for you to understand that you have a choice to play with that. You have a role to play. Thank you. I thought they're correcting me. You have a role to play with that in deciding. I choose. So a lot of times I remind this actually I gotta move this here. I remind my daughter, I remind my friends and clients and myself, when something's happening that they aren't happy with, when I'm going through something I'm not happy with, instead of letting thank you, they're saying instinctual, so I'll honor that. The instinctual emotions that can rise up when things are just not going the way we would ideally want them to go. Instead of allowing that to be the trigger of what we lean into, we take a breath and we just decide, like, what else do we want instead? There is so much, again, they're telling me loudly, there's so much that we are agreeing to, collectively and individually, that we don't even know we're agreeing to because of what we choose to engage with. So going back to, again, getting out of the stuck of being in limbo, is to make this a daily practice where you explore, what is it that I want? And I'm not talking about just like future manifestations and things you're working on. I'm talking about like truly deciding, what choice do I have today to give myself permission to choose, right? What choice? And there's so many things, again, that are just, thank you. They're showing me a plane flying under the radar, right? So under our consciousness, under our perception, and it's like flying under the radar. So you're being asked to actually take time to just take in the fact that there's a lot that's flying under your radar, my radar, our radar, that we are agreeing to. That is truly, if we really, really knew all of it, we wouldn't be okay with it. So one of the things they would have me do in a prayer is that I choose, and this is powerful if you commit to exploring this, my friends, my family, I choose to untangle from everything and anything that binds me. And I'm getting emotional from that once again. They would say that to me since high school. Since high school, that was a prayer they would have me do. I choose to untangle from all that binds me, known and unknown. Because the reality is your soul is in no way binded by anything. Even the idea, binded by a destiny, or that I have to do this or that, or my purpose is this. No, you are an expression of freedom. Your soul is an expression of energy, of source, of divine love, of beauty. Your soul is infinite. It knows no boundaries. It knows no entanglements. It knows no attachments. Thank you. And they're audibly telling me to say it doesn't know any attachments that would keep it from its true identity. But on a human level, we forget. And that's okay. We forget. So by just saying that prayer, that intention, thank you, another mantra, it's very powerful. I've been doing it since high school. And there's been things and many times in which I get shown things that I'm untangled from, that I'm tangled with, that I get untangled from, that were definitely flying under the radar, especially with our youth. Especially, thank you. They're audibly saying, especially with our youth. So if you're a parent, it's a lot of things that our children are engaging with. Same thing, movies, music, all these other things that they're engaging, and they're agreeing to certain things that are not for their highest. And I tell my daughter all the time, when I hear her singing songs, or I hear her listening to music, or even watching movies, I just remind her, like, make sure you're untangled. Make sure that you remember you have a choice. Like make sure you decide that's not what you want. You know, she likes the sad music, you know, the breakup music sometimes, and she loves listening to some of that stuff. And I'm like, remember, untangle, like, remember, don't disconnect, because you don't want to manifest that. So on some level, we agreed to that. Like, she can agree to that. And I know it's not one thing she would like to agree to. So that applies to you. That applies to me. That applies to all of us. And then, let me go ahead. And then the last thing, and I'm actually looking here, indecision. So we talked about untangling, right? Untangling and making a choice, and understanding that when we don't take time to be mindful about our choices and what it is we're inviting, we're linked somehow to indecision. Right? So we're allowing certain things that are not for our best or highest. And then the last thing, and I'm going to stop for a second and just take a breather, because they're telling me to say it another way. energy just, actually, for those that are listening live or on replay, just taking a deep breath. And I hear this from a lot of people with my clients that I work with, and also with my platform and even events and things that people feel the energy. So I'm actually being shown, those of you who are listening, I'm being shown energy being moved in the spine. So I'm going to share with you what that means. The spine to me represents, when I see energy moving, thank you, they wanted me to be specific. So they're showing me, it's like there's a lot of energy moving in people's spine, and what's happening is that they're moving, they're recalibrating, I can't say the word, thank you, pulling patterns from the past. So I guess the third thing, so I'm changing what I actually thought they wanted me to talk about for the third thing, and people are we're getting stuck in the limbo because the past is being forecasted into our future, which that makes sense, right? On so many levels. I mean, as individuals, it makes sense, but as a collective, that's huge, right? That there's nothing else that can come through or in, because on some level there is this box that's being constructed and reconstructed, right? It's being shaped around us in such a way because it's based on our past, which goes back to the energy of choice and everything they've just talked about. But they're saying we are forecasting the past. Forecasting, when they tell me that, it means like seeing into the future, right? We are projecting into the future, into that which can come to us. We're only projecting the past. Ooh, this is good. And a lot of what's happening, including with COVID and other things, but a lot of what's happening is that, and I know I talked about this in the post that I shared today, is that we as a humanity are going through a reset. And it feels uncomfortable. It is not delicious, like I like to say. It may feel yucky, and thank you. But they're saying this is at first. There is a collaboration in the chaos that is perceived right now that is actually helping us get through the breakthrough, get through the other side. And the reset that is happening or trying to unfold further for us collectively and individually are part of an answered prayer. There's been so many humans, let's say, so many of us, just really asking for things to change, not just individually, but collectively with everything, different things that have been unfolding. And there's a reset that is trying to embody itself. And I'm going to say trying because it's happening. But I'm saying trying because the more we lean into going with it and acknowledging it, the easier it becomes for us. And I'm not just talking about us like individually, but collectively. So there's a reset that's trying to unfold on our behalf, for our favor, for your things, for your beauty, for your evolution. Thank you for the expansion of us all. So what's happening right now when you find yourself maybe feeling frustrated or angst about it, or just kind of antsy, and I'm not just talking about, interesting, a lot of other things that we can point, they just said something else. We each are here exactly at the perfect time. You, me, all of us are here. We chose this lifetime, this time in history for a reason. Deep down inside, most of us, let's say, those are listening at least, know that there's something bigger and greater that's available to us. And you came here to be part of that. You came here to be part of that movement. You came here to be part of that change. You came here to change the systems. You came right now on purpose. It's not that you don't have it figured out. You're just trying to remember what you already have figured out. You are just allowing yourself to remember. And that's one thing I want to encourage you to have that conversation with yourself. If you ever find yourself saying, I don't know, delete and rewind. Rewind and delete. And just take a breath and just, I'm so thankful that I am choosing to remember. Because you are here exactly at the perfect time. Because you are part of that bigger breakthrough. you're part of this bigger shift that's happening. You're part of it. You're not an outsider watching it. You're not on the sidelines, yeah, sometimes you cheer people on because we all do that for each other, but you're not just outside with binoculars trying to see what's happening. Like, no, you're here because you're part of it. We're all part of it. And that's what's so exciting. So my invitation again, explore these 3 things and choose to be part of moving out of what they said, stuck in limbo. Choose to step outside of that. Choose to untangle from the idea of limbo. Choose to unstuck from the limbo. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all you beautiful souls that joined me live. And it's been so long that I'm going to have to retrain myself to figure out how to answer people's comments, look at people's comments. So I trust all this will be safe so I can look at it. But thank you so much for joining. And for those who resonate with this and feel supported by this and want to explore more of this, we have the Cosmic Series that's starting here next week. And next week, the first week is on Cosmic Breakthrough. So we're going to talk more about this and untangling from what's not just above the surface that you can see and perceive, but what's flying under the radar. And they're moving a lot of energy to that. The first week is about untangling a lot of things that are, thank you. Ooh, I haven't heard it like this before. And they prepare me for those of you who've seen my work, they prepare me for what's about to be delivered. And they've been talking a lot of things of untangling a lot of the unconscious things that are actually being seeded. And they just said that the word, I'm actually being a little, my human mind's a little apprehensive to share, but I'm audibly hearing the idea of mind control. There's certain things that are being delivered that are going under the radar. Thank you. So you're being invited to explore that if you feel inspired. And then the second week, Cosmic Flames, talking about delicious love in the physical with another, but one that goes beyond the physical. The third week, we are talking about intuition and how to really tap into your cosmic intuition and really open up to connecting to guidance. And then the fourth week is about business and finances and abundance and how to tap into those energy flows. And then the last week is about cosmic destiny and really stepping into that and embodying it. And then those that join for the all 5 weeks, the last week is going to be on cosmic collaborators. So I'm going to teach about telepathy and other things that you can explore with people in your life already, but people also that you have yet to meet that are part of your soul family. All right. I am so grateful for those that joined live, and thank you again for all those beautiful things. I see people commented. Sorry I did not directly respond right away. And thank you, even if you're on replay. I'm so grateful. Time is infinite. So whether you're in replay or live, you're still receiving, and I'm still receiving from you. Mwah. Have a good day. Bye. Now it's trying to figure out how to end this. It's been that long. I don't even know how to end this. Let's see. All right, I'm going to say bye in case I do figure it out.